Let's take a minute of silence. Art of Dying Alive, something that I, the soul, have heard almost every day in the Murli. Let me now check for myself. Dying from the old me. This is my new life. The body is the same, but it's a new birth. And let's do a quick check between my last birth and this birth. Not that we want to relive everything that was happening in the last birth, no. We're not going to get entangled in all those memories and scenes. We're just going to check me in my previous birth and me in my new birth. And just write down what all has changed in me. Very short and crisp. Previous birth and my this birth. The changes in me. We won't write about our lifestyle, those we know. Changes in me. Very specific. And especially note down the changes which were a paradigm shift, big shift from the kind of person I was in terms of this personality trait, and this is where I have changed. And take 2 minutes and write. Don't just think, write. It's always good to write because as you write it out, you are coding that new sanskar again all over on the soul. And most important, it's good to see what all has been changed, the creation, everything that the world would think was so difficult. And that change came easy, change came natural. So detach, see both the birds, and write down. And if you feel like sharing, because your change could be an inspiration for others, then you can write down and also type it in the chat box. Only if you feel like, not necessary, just if you feel like comfortable, because sometimes it could be a sanskar, a nature, which could be troubling me, and just seeing that someone else has been able to change it, it reinforces that, okay, it's not that difficult. They changed it. So can I.
Would you like me to read them out to you as they come?
No. I'll read them.
Okay.
We can all do our homework in silence and we'll
Perfect.
just read
Thank you.
what comes.
Thank you.
Very beautifully put, huh? Sensitive nature to sensible nature. Very sweet. Very good. Very nice. If someone from the Lokik world had to see this list, they would say, oh, you've created so much change. Okay. Anyone else wants to share before we start? Very good. Acceptance. Hmm. I'm sure everyone's reading, right? Very nice. Self love, depression to joy. Very good. Wonderful. Congratulations and thank you, Baba. Hmm? Thank you, Baba. So we take a moment to say thank you, Baba. Even though we say it many times a day, but each time we see this miracle that is getting created with us. And then we see that the miracle is with so many. And we know it's all about Baba. And so thank you. Not just because of the change, because change, yes, but for making the change so simple. So simple. And it's effortless. Imagine shifting from dependence to freedom, shifting from blame to personal responsibility, shifting to accepting people. These are deep rooted subconscious changes. The world is still talking about negative thoughts and positive thoughts, even that they're not able to change. And here we've changed deep rooted personality traits. Now, the reason why we have prepared this list for ourselves is not just because it's a workshop and so we have to write. No, writing it is very important to recognize our own power and also to recognize the magic that Baba is creating with me. And when I see that I've created this magic and the next magic and the third miracle and the fourth, then it becomes very, very easy that I can create a few more. So it's like a student who checks their syllabus before an exam and says, okay, I finished 10 chapters, so it's going to be easy to finish the remaining 2, 3. So it's very important to keep checking what all I have changed rather than always checking what all I still have to change. Because that sometimes still looks like a big thing. Oh, I have to do this, do this. But it's very important to see what all I have changed and what all others have changed, especially when we are together collectively, because then we understand that what looks very big is actually not that big because it's Baba and me. It's not just me. So that magical combination, and that's why Baba says we are Shiv and Shakti. Shiva and Shakti. So when Baba and me together, miracles. We're just going to read a few lines from Baba's Avyakt Murli and then see how we're going to put it into our life. This Murli is 28th August 71. Since you have died alive, why is there the attraction to the old physical senses. So now we'll keep checking, and as we're reading the line, just note down if there's anything where, yes, I have to work on this part. So we just note it down. We don't note down the Murli points. That's not important. We have the Murli of 1971. We note down the point specific to me in reference to that Murli point. Okay. So Baba is asking, why is there the attraction to the old physical senses? So now check. What I see, what I read, what I listen to, what I eat, what I speak, what I touch. All physical senses. Baba is talking about physical senses. So old physical senses. Why is there an attraction to the old physical senses? Since you have died alive, everything has finished, has it not? Just as it is shown in someone's horoscope that he will live till such an age and that then he will die. But that if he gives donations and performs charity, he will then begin his life again as though he has taken a new birth. Now, what happens is, especially in India, when a child is born, they have a horoscope prepared. What is a horoscope? It's the effect of planetary movements on the sanskar of the soul, on the personality of the soul. Now, so suppose someone has a prediction in their horoscope that they will die at a certain age. And if some of you may not know, Brahma Baba had this prediction in his horoscope that he would leave the body at a certain age. And then it's written in this Murli that the horoscope says that he will die, but if he gives donations and performs charity, which means actually if you change your sanskars and karma, then his life begins again, which means that astrological prediction does not turn out to be true and the person gets a new life but in the same body, which means you don't die as per the prediction and your life is much, much longer than what was predicted if you create a change in yourself. So then he has taken a new birth. So you also have died alive in this way, have you not? That is, you are dead to everything. Your old life has now finished. You have now taken a new birth and you have become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. New birth. So same costume, maybe same country, same city, maybe same home. Of course, same family, Lokik, and yet it's a new birth. You have become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. So is it possible that the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris have not yet conquered their physical senses? In the new life of Brahma Kumars, you should be beyond the knowledge of what it is like to be influenced by the physical senses. We note this point down. What it is like to be influenced by the physical senses. Have you not yet died alive to being a Shudra? So lower vibrational, Shudra, Brahmin. So the previous birth, I, the soul, was a Shudra, which means I was living at a lower vibrational energy of vices. New birth, Brahmin. So have you not yet died alive to being a Shudra? Or are you becoming that now? There isn't the slightest breath that is sanskar of being a Shudra trapped anywhere, is there? Checking. Let's write it down. Is there the slightest breath, the slightest sanskar of being a Shudra trapped anywhere? Shudra means my previous life, the lower vibrational life. Would you say that you have died alive if your old sanskars are still trapped somewhere? When you consider yourself to be Brahma Kumars, you will be able to cross the second step of the ladder by being beyond the attraction of physical senses. The Murli is all about attachment and dependencies to the physical senses. By having the awareness of being both a Brahma Kumar and a Shiv Kumar, you will never fail. Because when you consider yourself to be a Brahma Kumar, you also have the awareness of the task and the virtues of a Brahma Kumar. Underline. Task and virtues of a Brahma Kumar. So my old life is life of a Shudra. And Baba said, is there any sanskar trapped of the old life? And my new life is the life of a Brahma Kumar. And what is the underline over there? The task and the virtues. The task and the virtues. And the first step. So Baba says, this step which we have to overcome is the attraction to the physical senses. Now let's just check that quickly so that then we move to the next chapter. It's like dying alive with little chapters in our life. In India, you all must have seen when you visited here, and Baba talks about it a lot in the Murli, it's the sages and the saints used to do Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga means penance through the body, which means sitting at a stretch for many, many hours, standing on one leg for many, many days, hardcore penance, Hatha Yoga through the physical body. Then not see someone, not speak mourn for many, many days, not eat a particular thing for many, many days. So these are all Hatha Yogi sanskars. But there was a reason of doing that Hatha Yoga. So what they were trying to do is they were trying to create a change inside through the outside change, which also does create a change. But it's a very difficult change. You have to do a lot of effort on all these sense organs. What Baba does with us is creates a change inside and makes the outside change very natural for us, very easy. We don't have to make any effort for it. So, but the underlying reason behind this is that if we want to reach a stage here, elevated stage, these sense organs could not be getting distracted in this world. We have to have absolute self control. Self control. Before we move to the subtle organs of the mind, intellect, and the sanskar, the first step is the sense organs here. And Baba is calling us the second step because Baba's first step is when we start following purity. So that is also a huge achievement. Huge, huge. Baba always says in the Murli that the world believes it's impossible and Baba's children make it so simple. So that's the first step. So that's also physical, right? That's also to do with the physical body. Now the second step, the physical organs. Now let's check. Let's check what I watch, what I read, what I listen, what I eat, what I drink. I've taken a new birth. And this new birth of a Brahma Kumar, Brahma Kumari, full of all virtues, and the task is self-change for world transformation. Now, is there any of my physical organ which is pulling me, which means if I am doing something because it gives me happiness, which means I'm trying to get happiness from something outside, I'm trying to create that inner feeling. It's my innate sanskar. But my past life used to say, I'll be happy when I will eat this. I will be happy when I will watch this. I will be happy when I get this. I will be happy when I am with so and so. These are my past life sanskars. And so I need to check if there is any past life sanskar which I need to work on. And so I need to check my vocabulary for it. Simple vocabulary. Some of us unaware, we say it unaware, but we need to change the vocabulary because every time we say it, it's getting recorded on the soul. Some of us say, I cannot do without my morning cup of tea or coffee. Now check if you find yourself saying that. I cannot do without my morning cup of tea or coffee. Now, this will sound like such a small thing. It's a very small thing, but it's depleting soul power. Not the tea or coffee. The line, I cannot do without my morning cup of tea or coffee. So every time I saying I cannot do without, I am saying I, the soul, am dependent on my cup of tea or coffee. And when I'm saying I, the soul, am being dependent on a cup of tea or coffee, which means I am dependent. I am dependent. If I find myself saying that if I don't have my morning coffee, then I get a headache or any other withdrawal symptoms, I am dependent. I am dependent on the first chapter of the Baba's Brahma Kumari life. I am dependent because I am getting affected by a cup of coffee. So, what we eat and drink is very subtle attachment. Very subtle attachment. Why? Because we were not taught to eat and drink for health. We were taught to eat and drink for taste. We were taught this is very tasty. You have this. You'll be happy when you have this. You won't like this. All our vocabulary while we were growing up. So we were conditioned and programmed. And then, of course, the whole business and industry and those huge, huge hoardings, they all programmed us always that we eat for happiness. But now, Brahma Kumari cannot eat for happiness. We cannot, because the soul cannot be dependent on the food. So, what are we eating for? We're eating for health. We're eating for health. Somebody said, I've not had tea or coffee. Don't worry, it's not about the tea or coffee. It's not about the tea or coffee. Please have what you're comfortable with. We're talking about calling ourselves dependent on tea or coffee, not the tea or coffee. We're not discussing tea or coffee. We're discussing that don't let yourself be dependent on it. So Baba is saying, check all your physical organs. So that thing should not pull me. Baba says that thing should not pull you. So pull you means if I don't get it, then I get disturbed. Even physically, I get affected, that my head might start hurting. I feel uncomfortable. Those typical withdrawal symptoms that we may get because I am dependent. And so it has to start with my first step of saying, I have my tea or coffee if I do, for those who we do, but I'm not dependent on it. I'm very clear. I have to change my programming, new life, new way of thinking. Cannot use old vocabulary. New birth will not use old vocabulary. And all this vocabulary is so much around us also. So, somebody says, oh, I cannot do without my morning tea. So even we say, yeah, even I cannot do without my morning tea. And back there, that old sanskar is there, back there. So whether it's tea or coffee, whether it's something we eat, let's consciously shift from eating and drinking for taste to eating and drinking for health, because there's a lot of difference between the two. A lot of difference. Preferences, the food preferences that we have should be preferences for health, not what is tasty. Not what is tasty. And when we start doing this, initially it will be a shift, but we've created bigger shifts. We shifted to a vegetarian diet. We shifted to cooking at home on our own. We're not eating out. So we've created big, big shifts. This is a very, very, very insignificant one. Very insignificant one. We've created the bigger ones. So, what happens with all of us? We've actually covered the big chapters of life, and what is remaining are those very, very little ones. Very, very little ones. It's like a student who's covered all the tough chapters and is stuck on the very simple ones. So we are some of those students. So we cover celibacy, which the world believes is impossible. So we've covered the tough chapter, but we get irritated by one little thing in our life. So we have to now focus on these simpler chapters. The bigger, tougher ones are over, taken care of, and they've given us tremendous power. Now we just have to be aware of these simpler ones. So now, check anything that I'm eating or drinking, which I know is not healthy. So I will know it. I know it that it's not healthy, and I'm still having it. And sometimes, even while eating it, I'm saying, I know this is not healthy, but I'm still eating it. Check. And you can just note it down, and then you can check it daily basis when we make our food choices, food preferences. Food is a very, very big part of self discipline. Very, it's like if someone overcomes their food preferences of taste and shifts to health, they've overcome their dependency of physical attraction to a large extent. To a large extent. And that's why Baba comes and creates that big shift in which we create that miracle within the first few days of this life. But now we'll just check deeper. So just keep one point with you. Are all my food preferences healthy? Or is there anything that I have which I know is not healthy? I know it's not healthy, but I'm still having it. So never mind. I just note it down and keep it there. I just note it down and keep it there. There's nothing, we're not being judgmental about anything here. It's just that I am aware of myself. This is important. This is important. I'm aware of myself. Then I know that why am I having it if I know it's not healthy? Because I like it. It's tasty. It's tasty. So I'm eating for taste, not for health. Now, why am I eating something that's not healthy? Because I feel good after eating it. That's the line. I feel good after eating it. That's where Baba is saying, are you dependent on any physical attraction? So we cannot feel good after eating something because we're feeling good always. We're feeling good always. So we can't be feeling good after eating something. Feeling good and then eating something is fine, but eating to feel good is a different vocabulary. So you're happy, you're feeling good, you're contented, calm and stable, and you are eating what is healthy, or you're eating it to feel good. So just that much shift in vocabulary. Are you eating something to feel good? That I have to check in myself. So now we will check for all the sense organs, because when this is covered, the sense organs, this chapter is covered, we really shift in our vibrational energy because things stop pulling me down. In every scene of life, there is an outer world and there is an inner world. The inner world is the soul. The outer world is the world of situations, people, gadgets, technology, food, everything. Now, in my past life, how was I living? That the soul was getting influenced by the outer world. Everything of the outer world influenced the soul. And we thought that was normal. So we were happy doing something, we were not happy doing something, we were happy with some people, we were not happy with some people, we were happy eating something, we did not like something. This was a normal way of living in the past life. We are dead now from that life. New life. New life is opposite. New life is the soul influences the outer world, not outer world influences the soul. How is Satyug going to get created? Soul power will change the outer world. I am that chosen one. I am that chosen one who is going to change the world using soul power. Not my world, the world. The world. Right now, we are in a stage where we are changing my world, but we're going to shift to a stage where we are changing the world by using soul power. So, can we see the difference between the past life and my this life? And that past life mustn't be very old. For some of us, it could be just a couple of years. For some of us, it could be less than a year. But that's the big shift. So, I'm shifting from a world where everything inside, which means my thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything was dependent on the outer world. This is emotional dependence. So it was dependent on what I eat and drink. It was dependent on what I watch, what I listen to. It was dependent on people's behavior. It was dependent on what I achieve. It was dependent on the health of my body. It was dependent on everything that was going on around me. So a life of 100% dependence. That was my past life. 100% dependence. And it's natural. I'm happy because of, I'm upset because of, I'm sad because of, I'm worried. Such a natural, simple life. We had to do nothing. We just had to feel according to what was going on outside. Effortless, no effort at all inside. The inside world completely dependent on the outer world. Shift, new world. Soul, totally independent of the outer world. Totally independent. Baba said, you're an angel. You're an angel. You don't get pulled towards anything of the outer world. What is karma tit stage? Karma tit stage is we are doing our karma, we are there in the world, we're living with people, working, using all the comforts. But I, the soul, am not dependent on any of them. Using it but not being dependent. So, three options. First option, past life, using it, completely dependent on it. Second, some people chose to leave these comforts. So, when Baba says Hat Yoga, sannyasi, saints and sages, what did they do? They left those comforts, they left people, they left the world to achieve that soul conscious stage. The third one, our new life, being there, living with them, using all the comforts, having beautiful homes, everything, having all the money, everything, and independent. Independent means it's here, but it's not here. This is the new life. It's here. We are not going to leave anything. We're not going to move away from anything. It's here, but it's not here. Now, what's the direction of the energy? I am not happy when I use something. I am happy and I radiate that happiness to everything that I'm doing. So we are serving the world now. Energy can flow only in two directions, either from the world to me or from me to the world. So Kal Yuga, the energy was flowing from me to the world, completely dependent. Creating Satyug, I am radiating vibrations of God's knowledge, power, love, bliss, purity to the world because that's going to change the world. So Satyug means, now we've all seen pictures of Satyug. So it's got everything. It's got people, it's got prosperity, it's got palaces, it's got aeroplanes, it's got everything. They are using everything, but they are not dependent on anything. They are not dependent on anything. That is the life we have to lead now. This is our new life. And that's why Baba says, I have come to give you inheritance for 21 births. So the first one is now. So, like we're going to live in Satyug, we are going to live now. We will use everything, but it's not influencing the mind. So, then why are we here? We are here to give to it, not to take from it. So, everything that we do is seva. Everything in this new life, everything that we do is seva. And therefore, the Murli said, Brahma Kumar, what are the virtues and what is the task? So, task is I am here for seva. And seva means I am a giver. So at every moment, I can either be a giver or I am a taker. So if I'm saying I cannot live without my coffee, I'm a taker. Taker. But if I'm having my morning coffee and I pause and I remember Baba and I'm very calm and stable and I radiate those powerful vibrations into my coffee and I just have it because I've chosen to have it, not because I need it or crave for it. Different way of living. Different way of living. So now this is a very subtle consciousness change which we have to check, and then we have to make a little list. And as we make our list, we can keep ticking each one as we create a change. And this will make it very simple for us to shift from tasty preferences of food and drinks to healthy preferences. So, two benefits. One, we will master the sense organs, and second, we will be eating only that what is healthy for the body. We would be eating only that which is healthy for the body, right? And then we will have the power to not have that which is not healthy for me. It becomes very easy to not have that which is not healthy for me. When I know it, why should I have it? Why should I have it? Earlier, I didn't have the willpower to give it up. Now I have tremendous willpower. I can give up anything, right? We can give up anything. Anything. Suppose Baba had to say tomorrow in the Murli, okay, meethe bache, from tomorrow no pizza. How much time is it going to take? How much time is it going to take to say, okay, Baba said no pizza, so no pizza. Okay, again, nothing to do with pizza, huh? Just Baba says from tomorrow, no pizza. So how much time is it going to take? Nothing at all. One thought. Baba said no pizza. Okay, pizza, bye bye, it's over. So we have that kind of willpower. Very fortunate souls in a time where people are not able to give up things even if they're chronically unwell. Even when the doctor says to them, you should not be having this, they still keep having this. It is better to die having it, but how can I live without it? We're living in that world and we are able to give up anything, just one thought, one decision, and it's over. So let's use that willpower for healthy preferences, because not because of what we are eating is whether it's healthy for the body or no, it also has an impact on the mind. On the mind. So when we are having very heavy food or what is very toxic, it doesn't just affect the body, it also affects the vibrations. It also affects the vibrations. So if you would feel like experimenting, you can experiment for 1 month. Just experiment for 1 month and see if it changes over here, which means have food just for a month experiment, or you can even do it just for 2 3 days. Just experiment with having lighter energy foods, which means easy to digest foods, not heavy, not toxic, not very fatty, not which stick to other intestines in the body. Just do for 1 week, for 5 days, and you will see that it will create a shift not just in the physical health but in the soul power. You will feel lighter. Your sometimes even the meditation becomes better after that, because like science is teaching us, the gut is connected to the mind and the brain. The gut. Nowadays, there's a whole science about it, the gut and the brain connection. So, when they say the gut and the brain connection, it's actually not the gut and the brain connection, it's also the gut and the mind connection. The Baba tells us, no, we are what we eat. So, it's the gut and the mind connection. So, when we eat lighter food, lighter, very easy to digest food, you're going to find a big shift here. So one is dependency is over, and second is spiritual power increases. It really rises. So we need to experiment with that. Then, of course, what we watch, read, listen. Very consciously, we have to check our dependencies on technology, our phones. I know it's something we've talked about many times, but yet I need to check. I need to check repeatedly. Is it pulling me? Notifications, if we keep it off and just experiment. Notifications silent, because every time there is a ting and a ting and a ting on my phone, it kind of goes pulls like this. It seems insignificant, but it has a deep impact. It has a deep impact because I'm getting pulled every time. Every few minutes, I'm getting pulled towards something. Let me shift. Let me put the notifications on silent. Let me set a time that maybe I'll check my phone after 30 minutes or after 60 minutes, whatever. And then we check it only at that time. Willpower. Using the phone to use it, not being controlled by the phone. Simple. The usage will be the same, but I'm using it as a master, not being controlled by it. Then, of course, what we watch, read, listen. Any content of the old world does not have the divine vibrations. And when I watch, read, listen, I'm also consuming the vibration. I'm trying, working, making effort to clean my vibrations. And then I go and consume something. And then it becomes a part of my personality again. It becomes a part of my energy field and my aura. So, what I watch, read, listen, what I eat, what I drink. Is anything influencing here, or I'm doing it only to give? Only to give. Serve. Serve. So, that task and the virtue we need to remember. My new life is virtue and task of my new virtue, independence, freedom, detachment. Detachment. Doing everything but detached. Virtue, giver. So independence, detachment, giver. These are my virtues. Task, world change. My vibration is going to change the world. So I'm shifting from the world controlling me to me changing the world with Baba's energy. New birth. New birth. The world controlling me. And for those of us who are on social media, check if the figures, the statistics, the comments that people are writing or not writing, is it writing anything here? Is it creating anything here? Is it pulling me to check? Is it becoming a figure of my feeling good or feeling self-respect? I'm feeling good. My feeling cannot be dependent. Why did I post that? So I say to myself, intention was seva. So if intention was seva, then I cannot feel good after seeing the figures, because it's not the figures which matter. It's not the figures which matter. It's the energy of Baba who's gone to the world. Sometimes what we share might go only to one soul on the planet. And yet that one soul could create miracles, and it's Baba's seva. And sometimes that one post that we send might go to like thousands of people, and we were like, wow, I got 1,000 people. Maybe it's not created any impact, and I'm feeling good just because the figure is 1,000. This is old life sanskar. This is old life sanskar. This is Kalyug world sanskar. Why do we sometimes have these sanskars or feelings? Because we're living in that vibration. So we need to protect ourselves. We're living in that vibration. So we might have that thought, and instantly we have to see it and say, okay, this was an old birth sanskar. This is not Baba's sanskar. This is not my new sanskar. And immediately we change. Immediately we change. So we've overcome that. So if anybody wants to write, what's the new homework that we're going to do? Anything that we're going to work on in terms of what we eat, drink, watch, read, listen. So physical sense organs. Then we'll see people, roles, positions. A lot of attachments and dependencies need to be checked. Most important, now we start seeing, is there any situation? Check in this last 1 week. Let's note that down. 1 week. Just scan the last 1 week. Any situation which affected my mind, which affected my emotions. I was calm and stable, everything was perfect. I was in Baba's yard, and then something happened and I got changed. And my past life sanskar emerged. Affected by situations, scenes of the drama. If anyone got affected in the last 1 week, type a yes in the chat. You don't have to mention the situation and you don't have to mention what you felt. That's for you. This is a checking. This is a very important checking. It could have happened this morning. Of course, for you, it's still morning. For me, it's evening has begun. So it could have happened today. It could have happened yesterday. Yes. So when situations are affecting me, it's my previous birth. So when it happens, what do I do? What do I do? It's happening every day. There would hardly be a single day where it doesn't happen happened even once. So, and I have to reach a stage that it never happens. So you see that gap is still very wide. So I have to reach a stage where nothing of the outer world affects me. Nothing. And here I am getting affected almost on a daily basis, at least a couple of times in the day. So now how do I work on it? Each time it happens, each time it happens, I'm aware, we're all aware once it happens. Even if we're not aware at that time, we're aware after that. We know that we reacted to a person's behavior, we reacted to a situation. Even if we did not react in our behaviors, we reacted in our mind. We reacted in our mind. So that's the subtle one. We need to change. We reacted in our mind to someone's behavior or to the situation. It's already happened. Now, when it happens, there is a recording that happens here. So if I get irritated, angry, hurt, upset, worried, the list, it creates a recording here. It creates a recording here. If I don't change that recording, then that recording is there to stay. And if that recording is there to stay, then there are chances it will happen again. So that's why Baba says to us, traffic control, pause, check, change. And then Baba says, before going to sleep, write it all out. Write it all out. Very powerful technique. Very, very powerful. Even in the Lokik world, people are taught, write out everything that troubled you during the day. But people write it out like this: I got angry, I got hurt, this one shouted at me, their fault. That's not how we will write, Baba's children. What we will write will be the correct response to that situation. We will write it out. So if someone said something to me and I got simply just irritated or just critical or judgmental in my mind, it's a recording. I have to consciously change that recording. Best is to do it immediately. Best is to just do it immediately. Scene is over, reaction is already done, people have left. Take a 1 minute pause. Don't wait for traffic control. It's like having your morning cup of tea or coffee and then you spill it off a little. And there it is on your beautiful white dress. Now, it's our choice. Do we clean it immediately? Do we clean it during traffic control? Do we clean it later in the evening when we're about to change our dress? Do we clean it on the birthday? Do we clean it on the new year? Which day am I going to release the past sanskar? Similarly, I reacted. Let's do it right away. The stain is fresh. The stain is fresh. The recording is new. So just sit back. It's my traffic control time. I don't have to go by the clock. I don't have to go by the phone app. I go when I need it. So take that 1 minute pause, rewind the scene on your mind, and see yourself responding the right way, the new life way. How would Baba respond in this? And then I respond that way. I see it all happening here. It's like an actor. They rehearse their part here and then they play their part here. Similarly, for me, the part is already over. I've already played the part. But now I'm going to change it here so that the next time there is a scene, I have a new recording. And this playing the part again also fades away my previous recording. So, you know how Baba tells to us in a Murli that if you have made a mistake, tell it to Baba. Tell it to your instruments or go into Baba's room and write it out and put it there. And though the impact of it will be lesser, which means release that emotional wound. Release that emotional wound and replace it with the right response. So if we do it immediately, so as soon as you're out of that scene, the first moment that you get alone, do it that time. And pause, rewind the scene, see everything that happened, understand, and see yourself responding another way. See yourself responding another way. And the new response will get recorded here. If I don't do it that time, then let's do it at traffic control. And if I don't do even that, then definitely do it before going to sleep. Because when we go to sleep, the recording which is here on the conscious layer of the mind during our sleep goes into the deep layer of the subconscious, which means it starts getting absorbed by the soul. So now the stain is not on the top layer, it's getting absorbed there. Let's not do that. So at least before we go, that's why Baba says meditate before you go to sleep. Write your chart, write everything, which means anything that was not right during the day, I have to rewrite. So either immediately or during traffic control or before going to bed, we have to re-record. Re-record. It's like I clicked a photo, I recorded a video, not good quality, re-record. Click again. Like how we have photographs clicking, we say, wait, I didn't smile, take it again. Same. I did not smile. They were shouting. I should have just kept quiet. I had to bless them. I had to remain calm. I did not. Stop. Let me do it in my mind and click that photo in my mind there. So that way, I am training my mind. Soul power is increasing. I'm training myself to not get affected by situations, to respond the right way, like we would teach a child how to speak. How do we teach a child? Little one, kids. How do we teach them vocabulary? We teach them languages. What do we say? If they don't pronounce the word properly, we'll say it again. Now you say it again. And now you say it again. And they was like, Mummy, I've learned it. We're like, no, no, never mind. Repeat. Say it again. So when they say it again and again, it's perfect for a lifetime. Now we are teaching here. Think again and again the right way till you get it right here. And then the soul has learned a new way of responding. And if I do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, 20 times, suddenly I will see that now I don't get affected. Sometimes the people whom we get affected are the same ones on a daily basis. If they are law cake, if they are family, if they are colleagues, same people. Same people we are getting affected on a daily basis. What a way to deplete energy. Same people. It's like getting the same question in the exam every day. And yet I'm not passing. Now I already know the exam question. So I have to do that re-recording. I have to do that re-recording. Baba's given us simple mantra. Follow Father. Every thought of Baba is my thought. Every word of Baba is my word. Every behavior of Baba's is my behavior. Let me put that in my churning and in my thought in every traffic control. The seed, just like the Father. Every thought of Baba is my thought. If it's not Baba's thought, it's not my thought. This was in the Murli 2 months back. Words of Baba, my words. No other vocabulary. And every behavior of Baba, my behavior. Whatever does not belong to the Father does not belong to me. When I keep teaching the soul this repeatedly, what does not belong to the Father does not belong to me. What is Baba's thoughts, words, behavior is mine. And then I check it in the situation. And in case I have faltered, I pause and recheck and rewind and re-record. We are learning. We are learning and we are rising above situations. So we are shifting from our old life sanskars. Old life sanskars. What was the old life? So Baba said Shudra. New life, angel. Angel. So angels, what do? How do they live their life? They just here, give and move on. Give, and fly off. Nothing of this world touches them because they've come here only to give and they fly off. This is my life. This is my life. I'm here to give and fly off. I'm not here to take. So when I get influenced by a situation, I become a taker. I've taken the energy of the situation. When I react to a person's behavior, I have taken that person's energy, which means I've consumed their energy. When I want people to be my way, I am dependent on their behavior to feel good. I am taking their energy. I'm taking their energy. Be good so that I will be happy. I'm dependent. Angel means doesn't need anything from this world. Nothing of this world can affect an angel. So I have to remind that to myself every day. Nothing of this world. I need nothing from this world. That's also a very important thought. I need nothing from this world. Nothing. I belong to the new world. In the new world, what would I need from the old world? Nothing. So I need nothing from people. Now, sometimes I say, I don't need appreciation from anybody. I used to say this few years back till I understood it a little deeper. And I said, I didn't want any appreciation. I did what I had to do and it's finished, it's done. I said, I don't need any appreciation. But why did they have to criticize? It's a very important question mark for me. They didn't have to appreciate, they didn't need it. But why did they have to criticize? So when my mind is going to say, but why did they criticize? That means I was so dependent on that appreciation. So dependent. I needed something for what I have done. So then I tell myself, but I didn't need anything. But if I didn't need anything, I will not get affected by criticism. So Baba's Murli point, whether it's appreciation or criticism, we remain the same. We remain the same in appreciation and criticism, the same, which means I'm not taking anything from the outside world, only here to give. So we are here, we do our work, we play our role fine, do our seva, that's it. What the other person is giving to us is about them. We need to remember this. What the other person is giving to us, it's about them. If I take it, then it becomes about me. Till then, it's nothing to do with me. So even if someone is appreciating you, it's because they carry the beautiful sanskar of appreciation. It's about them. But if I consume that appreciation, it's very good, feels very nice, all the appreciation. If I consume that appreciation, even in a subtle, subtle manner, if I consume that appreciation, I have created the sanskar of consuming from the world. And if I consume that appreciation, nothing, nothing can protect me from getting affected by criticism. Nothing. If I get excited when I achieve something, nothing can protect me from feeling dejected when I fail. Nothing. And that's why Baba says appreciation, criticism. Appreciation, criticism. Success, failure. Both of them, same. So visualize like a pendulum here. So the pendulum needs to be in the center. If on the days of success or when I get appreciation, if the pendulum goes here, very happy, very excited, joy because of all that good seva that happened today, here, then on the days when it doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, the pendulum will go here. So if pendulum goes one side, it has to go to the other side. Has to. Nobody will be able to stop it. Even if we sit in Baba's room and say, Baba, I don't want to feel hurt. Baba, why am I getting affected? Baba can't do anything now. Baba has given us the spiritual principle. Bache, you should not go here when you were getting the good things. Then you will not go here when you're getting the criticism. So the effort or the attention is in when we are getting the appreciation. Immediately surrender. Baba, it was about them. It's their sanskar to appreciate. So they were saying all these wonderful things, and what they're appreciating is actually your task. You have created all these miracles. So up there, immediate surrender. So which means never in your mind accept appreciation. Never. Very deep addiction, dependency, appreciation, approval. People should approve of what I'm doing. They should say that I'm right. Feedback, yes. Suggestion, yes. Opinion, I can ask for. Approval, subtle. Subtle. People should approve of it. So people should say, I was right, I was good, and I keep waiting for that people's approval. If I'm dependent on people's approval, then I will tend to do only that which gets approval from people. And sometimes I am needed to stand for something which is not going to get anyone's approval. No approval I'm going to get for it. Will I have the strength to stand for that? Will I have the strength to stand for that? Which means finishing the impact of peer pressure. Now, in my previous life, the peer pressure was law kick, and now in my new life, the peer pressure sometimes becomes a law kick. But it's still a peer pressure. It's a beautiful alaukic family. But it's my old sanskar that converts it into a peer pressure. That I need to get approval from everyone here. Everyone has to approve of me. Even if I don't want appreciation, but they should approve of what I am doing. I need to know what I'm doing. Is it as per Baba's Srimat? As per Baba's Maryada? As per Baba's Gyan? And is it the highest elevated Bab Saman karma? And is it creating Satyug? Then I can stand alone. That's the kind of power. That's the power. It can't happen that I shifted from being attached to the old family and now suddenly got attached to approval from the new family. then only the family changed. The attachment sanskar did not change. The attachment sanskar did not change. So dependency on people's approval is a very subtle dependency, sometimes not visible, not aware that this is a dependency. So physical, very gross, easy to recognize. Dependencies on situations and people's behavior, easy to recognize because I know when I react. We all know, even if nobody else knows about it, we know when we react inside. So, very easy to recognize. At least when we recognize, we should not endorse it. We should not say, obviously, I would have felt like this, they did that. No, no, that is past life sanskar. We don't endorse it, even if the world has been wrong to me. My response has to be as per Baba's Gyan. That's my life. Even if the whole world is against me, my response has to be as per Baba's Srimad. That is right. So I cannot endorse a wrong reaction because when I endorse a wrong reaction, I'm becoming dependent on the situation. So independent, angelic. Angelic means untouched by the vibration of the outer world, not taking anything, only radiating, only a giver. So first was physical, second was situations and people. Situations and people. Third, subtle, appreciation, endorsement, approval. Approval. Even if we have done seva, do we need approval after that? Do I have this subtle need for someone to say, okay, that was right, that was good? I should be aware if it was right, because the right would depend on my intention first. People would say it's right only based on what they see the outside result. Outside result is not seva. Seva is invisible intention behind the seva, the intent. And if there is even a subtle desire to get something in return, subtle, absolute subtle desire that somebody could have acknowledged or just said it was fine, or if they didn't say it was fine then, or if they didn't talk about it, or they didn't even mention it, or if someone said it was not right, if someone said no, this is not, this is wrong, this is this, do I get hurt and affected? Then again I was in this direction. So I take the feedback from them, then I check, yes, was it that this is not right, seva? Yes. Should I cross check from my elders? What are the maryadas of seva? What are the yajna methods for seva? We are a big yajna. There has to be certain methods. So if someone has said to me that this was wrong or something, I go check it first here. If I know all the maryadas and the niyam, if I know it all, but I can still ask an elder. And so if I check that what is it that I have done which was not right as per Baba's guidelines and the dadis and the elders' guidelines, where is my mistake? So I get that checked. When I get that checked, if I understand it right, I change it. And if I don't get anything checked and if I don't find anything wrong in it, and just because someone else has said it, I cannot get affected. That means I was waiting for approval. Even though I tell myself, no, I didn't need approval or appreciation, but it means I was waiting for it. And that's why when I got the opposite energy, I was not happy. So that is also a dependency. That's also a dependency. And subtle, one more dependency is dependency on seva. This dependency we have to work on. Dependency on seva to feel good. You say, I will be happy when I get this seva. It's the same like saying, I will be happy when I get my morning coffee. It's still a dependency. We're not a part of any seva to feel happy. Our happiness is our innate sanskar of the soul of this new birth. And everything that I have to get inside has to come from Baba. Not from, because I cannot be dependent on seva to feel good. Today it's there, tomorrow it won't be there. So any dependency, sometimes if we were a part of a certain seva and then that seva is given away to another instrument, how do I feel? How do I feel? Do I feel, oh, I could have done it better? Why did they give it to them? All these thoughts. I'm Baba's instrument for seva. Baba's instrument. Baba can choose whom he wants to use, and then that's it. We don't create a single thought. A single thought. So even if I create thoughts, sit back and change. Baba says one cannot stay without seva. No, Baba does not say one cannot stay without seva. Baba says one should not stay without seva. Baba doesn't say one cannot stay without seva. Lot of difference between the two lines. And what is the seva that Baba is talking about? Seva means our seva is creating satyug. That is seva. Creating satyug is the seva project of Sangam Yug. And how do we create satyug? The thoughts we create, our intentions, our vibrations, our feelings, our words, our behaviors. This is our energy field. How does Satyug get created? Satyug is going to get created when a fixed number of souls go so high in their vibrational energy that it tips over the vibrational energy of the planet and the world's energy changes. It's like in a house of four. If three are upset and one person is so stable and calm, and that one person's vibrational energy influences the other three, and the energy of the house changes. The house changes from Kalyug to Satyug. Same is going to happen on the planet. So Baba says seva. Seva means vibration of creating Satyug. That could be while I am cooking at home, or that could be while I'm cooking at the center. That could be when I'm cleaning the house. That could be when I'm cleaning the center. But if while cleaning the house, I call it housework, and while cleaning the center, I call it seva, yeah, it's the same. Both are the same. If my consciousness is the same while doing both the things. So very important that my vibration has to be creating satyog. I could be cleaning the center, I could be cleaning my house, I could be doing something at office, I could be shopping in the market, I could be doing anything. It is our vibrations which will create satyog. Or I could be in center, I could be a part of a project, I could be on the stage giving a talk, I could be a part of a big international project. But if there are things going on in my mind, very little seva is happening. I'm only doing seva here. Very little seva happening from my vibrations. So seva is creating satyug on the planet. That's our project. That is our seva. And that's why Baba says, I know what you say in English. In Hindi, it is sthiti se seva, which means as is your state of being, so is the service you are doing. As is the state of the being. In India, about I think before Badi Dadi left. So it would be before 2006. So we had these huge programs, like there were 50,000 or 80,000 people in one public program, and there would be dignitaries of the city on the dais. And then during Baba Milan, every city who would do these big mega programs, they would bring all these big albums, very beautifully done, to share with Baba, very sweetly. Children would go on the stage to share with Baba that all that happened, so many people came, and so came. And each time that happened, it was so beautiful to just look at Baba and to understand what Baba is teaching us. And so each time someone shared the album and showed everything that happened, which means the success of the program, right? Because it is beautiful seva. So the success of the program. So they would show like that, and Baba would look, and we know how Baba looks. Baba doesn't get excited while looking at things like that. So Baba would look at the album, and then after that close the album, and Baba will say, for everyone, Baba said this, and Baba will say, all of y'all were united and did it together. Congratulations for that. Simple one line answer. So we need to understand what Baba is saying. The success of the seva is not in the numbers. It's not in the numbers, because Satyug cannot get created by how many people came in a program. Very simple. So the success of a seva is not in the numbers. The success of the seva is in the vibration that is created, even if two people came for the program. But the vibration, the way we got together, we created it, the harmony in our energy, the egoless state, the constant remembrance of Baba and using Baba's Gyan. And we worked on that project for a couple of days or months, and finally we executed it. But the whole process of those few days or months radiated that divine energy on the planet. Satyug was getting created, even if only two people came for the program. But if 80,000, 50,000 people came for a program, but during the process of the execution, if I, the soul, was going up and down, stressed and hassled, and ego was getting rubbed somewhere, then that seva was still partly seva. So we have to understand what Baba says, that we cannot be dependent on seva for feeling good. We are feeling divine and being a part of the seva, and that seva can be anywhere. Anywhere. Of course, it's always a fortune to be at the center, divine vibrations. But see, suddenly time changed and we were not able to go out anywhere for seva. So all travel, all programs, all even not able to go to the center. So then, does Satyug stop getting created because we're not doing any programs for 2 years? No, it's in fact gone to another vibration altogether. We're all connected, we're all meditating, we're all doing bhattis. So this is seva without doing anything. It's seva of creating that divine energy on the planet. So we cannot be dependent. So the new life is all about soul being detached, independent, and not needing anything from the old world, because it's a new birth. New birth, new life, new world. Not need anything from the old world. So we will keep checking this: physical organs, second, situations, third, people's behavior, fourth, I need something, approval, appreciation, acknowledgement for what I have done. That's or subtle. And then, most important, addiction, dependency on seva. Do I get affected if the seva that I was doing has been given to someone else, or I was not asked to do what I'm asked to do on a daily basis? Deep, deep, deep layers. Everybody would have different experiences. Or do I find myself saying, I'm not feeling good, I haven't been part of any seva for the last couple of days? This is all a dependency. And which is okay, it's our past life sanskar, but we need to be aware of it. Important is just to be aware of it, because we're such powerful souls and we have Baba protecting us, empowering us. Just that awareness and it will change. Just the awareness and we can change it. And once we're changing it, we're just shifting to that final goal, the final goal of being in this world, but being an angel. This angel, that angelic stage is where the angel doesn't need anything, which means nothing of this world can affect. Nothing. The soul is changing the world, not the world affecting the soul. Just remember this energy equation always. New life is I am influencing the world with Baba's Gyan, love and power, not the world influencing me. So each time I find myself getting influenced by anything of the world, I just need to note it down. It doesn't matter. It will happen on and off till we reach that angelic stage. Had we finished it all, we would have reached that final stage. It will keep happening till we reach that stage. Important is just to be aware that this is my dependency, this is my attachment, this is my attraction. And once I check it, it's easy to change. It's easy to change. And of course, the basis always remains my daily meditation, daily study, daily accurate Murli study, daily following all the Maryadas. This builds up our spiritual power. This builds up our spiritual power, and this gives us the power to keep those checkings there. But important is to be aware. Very important to be aware, because if I live 10 years of my life not aware of what all I'm dependent, then I have lost out on time. I've lost out on time. So that subtle checking is just to be aware, and then changing is very easy. So we'll take a few minutes break. This few minutes you can freshen up, have your glass of water, but also reflect. Also reflect that which are my dependencies. Don't get too critical about yourself. Just check a couple of them, which we can start working on this moment itself. This moment itself. So each time my mind gets a little disturbed, I just have to note it down. What was my attachment? The day I finish my attachments, there will be absolute stability. So every time there is a disturbance of any kind, there is an attachment. There is an attachment. I just need to check that attachment for myself. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Shivani. Just to say, we've got 10-minute break. Okay, so we'll come back as soon as we can. Um, just one sweet request, if because lots of you have been sending me questions on this. If you write Anon anonymous and then type your question, your names will not be mentioned here at all. And yes, sister, we will try, Shubha, to try to fit in as many questions as we can. So to help me to read them out to Sister Shivani later, you need to keep them very brief and essenceful, okay? Thank you. We'll see you soon. Om Shanti. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you, Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome back. Okay, Sister Shivani, it's over to you.
Questions?
Oh, would you like? Okay, shall I go through? Oh, okay, let's start. So, are we having the question and answer session from now? Yes, lovely. Okay, so let's get. Oh, okay. Let me start with this one and then I'll scroll up. I'm finding it hard to meditate at 4 a.m. Normally, find myself falling asleep. What can I do to improve?
Great. Most important is the time you sleep. What happens sometimes when we start following the maryadas, we focus on the time to wake up. We have to first check the time we sleep. And second, the couple of hours before we sleep are very important. So it's very important to take the mind in the normal activity stage. The mind is in something called as the beta stage. Beta stage means the speed at which we are thinking and the number of thoughts we have. When we go to sleep, we go from beta to alpha stage, then theta stage, then delta stage. Now, what Baba teaches us, and which is a very, very powerful tool, before we go to sleep, we take the mind to the alpha stage. What we are doing in the old world, before we go to sleep, we are in the beta plus stage, which means we are watching the news before we're going to sleep. We are watching movies, serials, we are scrolling our emails, we are working. So we are in the hyperactive stage in the mind before we go to sleep. So it's very important to check that hour before we sleep, the mind needs to start slowing down. So, if possible, if your work, the work you do, or the role you play, if it allows you, disconnect from work communication at least 2 hours before you sleep, which means your work emails, your work messages, keep them for the morning. Keep them for the morning. 2 hours before you sleep, you disconnect from work communication because work has a deep impact on the mind. The mind starts thinking a lot about work. Then, at least an hour before we sleep, we disconnect from any other kind of media. If you are at home and you're with everybody and you're watching the news or one, if you are, ideally don't, because not very good for the mind, but definitely not in the night. Third thing, now preparing the mind to go into the alpha stage. So just before we sleep, keep at least 20 to 30 minutes for yourself before you sleep, which means study an Avyakt Murli before you sleep. It has a deep impact on the mind, because if you take an Avyakt Murli before you sleep, be rest assured during your sleep that Avyakt Murli is getting processed into your system and it's becoming a part of your personality here. So Avyakt Murli study before we sleep. If all of you in the family are in Gyan, it's good to even study together. So, we all sit together and we read and we churn on, even if we take one page of an Avyak Murli, but we work on that Avyak Murli before we sleep. Then, like Baba says, write out a chart, and like we discussed today, release everything. So, never carry an emotional wound to bed, which means even an emotional wound would not be like the past life where he hurt and hatred, but even a little irritation, a little wrong thought is not healthy for us. So we write it out and we clean it up before we go to sleep. And then, of course, meditation before we sleep. Before we sleep. So connecting to Baba, you're already in the Amrit Vela stage before you go to sleep then. So if you meditate before you sleep and you're connecting to Baba, and then in that consciousness you go to sleep, the last thoughts before we sleep are generally the first thoughts when we wake up.
Mm.
So it's just taking care before we go to sleep. Now, when you wake up, within a few days, your sleep regime will set itself into this if you follow this. And till that happens, you can take a shower before you sit for Amrit Vela, which is amazing energy. You don't feel sleepy after that. Or you can read a little Avyak Murli before you sit for meditation. You can read an Avyakt Murli. Third, don't sit with a backrest. If it still makes you sleepy, then don't sit with a backrest. So then we get into the little hut yoga posture, which is also very good for us, because when we just slack down into our sofa or very comfortable position, and if we are sleep deprived, which means we had not caught up on our sleep cycle in the last couple of days, only then we will fall off to sleep. So don't sit very comfortable physically if in spite of all this you tend to fall off to sleep, and within a few days it'll be changed. Definitely, it's certain. Important, take care of that last half an hour before going to sleep.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, so there seem to be loads of questions coming through. Let me just go to the one that came earlier. When a senior instrument keeps reminding me of my past mistakes every day in the Murli class, she reminds me. What also what does one do when Pakka seniors who are very wise get condescending towards us using Srimad? How to deal with superiority complex personalities?
Again, we need to understand we are all working on our sanskars. We are all working on our sanskars. Sometimes it's very easy to look for that one sanskar in a senior and say, like, oh, they are so paka in Gyan, and then they are not having done this and not having reached there. You don't know the amazing amount of work they have already done on themselves. So probably everything is clean. There's just one little tiny stain left somewhere, and we are being able to see that stain. So by looking at that, we need to remember I'm depleting myself. I'm consuming energy, right? So Baba has taught us. So now let's become Bab Saman. And what would Baba say if we walk up on stage during Avyak Babdavda Millet and we look at Baba and say, Baba, this senior keeps reminding me of my past mistakes. What should I do? And then that's there. You will get the answer directly. What will Baba say if I go up on stage and say, Baba, look at this senior. Every day he or she is reminding me of my mistake in the Murli. So Baba will say, sweet children, it's my Murli. I am reading out the Murli to you. You have to visualize that I am reading the Murli. The words are all mine. If you believe, and that too, it could be our belief system. If we believe someone is adding something else deliberately for you, take the feedback, keep away the rest, and radiate blessings to them and good wishes. They will also heal that sanskar. Baba will say that to us if we walk up on stage and share it with him. And so we just start doing that. What happens is our attention goes on that point every time. And then we create this thought they are saying it to me. Sometimes it does happen, so we can feel the vibration if someone is saying it to us. But if it happens once or twice or thrice, after that I also start feeling that it is happening to me, it is being said to me. So then my vibrations also start going to the person. It's not only the person's vibration coming to me, it's also my vibrations radiating to the person. So compassion and blessings for everybody. And most important, if somebody is reminding me, I need to also check, have I corrected that? Is that chapter of my past life over? Have I corrected it? Why is the person finding the need to remind me again? Have I done something? If yes, I correct. If no, no problem. Lots of blessings to you, because my homework is already done. I have already corrected and rectified my mistake. So never mind, you take your time to heal yourself. My mistake is over. Baba and me, we are sorted. Why should we get affected by what people are saying? We are all going through our sanskars. So the whole our purusharth is that what other people are saying cannot make me upset or disturb me here. I just take the feedback and the energy. If it's not nice, I just leave it and say Baba's blessings to them. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you. Um, one sister's asking, she says, if every kalpa the same drama repeats, then there is no free will. Is
Yeah. What is the free will in? The free will is in the part that I am recording, which will get repeated every kalpa. Simple. Today you're a part of this webinar. Are you a part of this webinar out of free will, or is it because it happened in the last kalpa? How come? What do you think? Did you choose to come here for this webinar, or it was happening automatically because it was in the past karma? No, we chose to be here. Some of us chose not to be here. Free will. Now, after this webinar, I've noted down my points. I've heard Baba's Murli, I've written down. Now, again, I have free will. What all am I going to change? So, at every step, it is free will. At every step, it is free will. Every karma of ours is free will, because it is this free will that is giving us the power to choose our every karma. Even being Baba's child is free will. So many have come, done the course. Why are they not here? Free will. Why am I here? Free will. How much am I here? Free will. Everything is free will. It's only a way of looking at it. Everything we are choosing, and what we are choosing is getting recorded, and what is getting recorded is a part of the drama in the kalpa. But while I'm playing it, it's completely free will.
at the moment, yes. Lovely. Okay, another question here. I have been a BK for 7 years, but I find it very difficult to connect or relate to Brahma Baba. I recognize Shiv Baba immediately, but it feels as if my center BKs seem to worship Brahma Baba equally.
Okay, now we won't talk about other people, right? So we'll talk only about ourselves. It's like, okay, it's like a parent and brothers, sisters. So I, the child, I'm able to connect to my parent, but my other brothers and sisters are connecting to my elder brother. And for them, my elder brother and my father is the same. So I'm not too happy about that idea. But that's their choice, no? They love the elder brother as much as the father. As long as they love and respect, they're not doing anything wrong. So they love and respect the elder brother as much as the father. Why? Because the elder brother, which means Brahma Baba, has reached a stage and has become a sample. If we look at Brahma Baba's life, I mean, today when we are in Gyan, everything is very simple. Everything is very simple today. When we look at one soul's life, to be able to surrender everything, to be able to stand against whole city and country and society, to be able to channelize all the energies, resources, so much, and yet not get any appreciation or acknowledgement from anybody in the world. Today, if we look at all the seva that has happened in so many years, even the remote center sister will get appreciation from her area for who she is and what she's doing. Say, this center sister does very good seva. She is doing lot of good work for our city. Brahma Baba, nobody knows. Nobody will say anything about Brahma Baba. They will say things about the this youngest sister in the center. Also, everybody in the city will know. But Brahma Baba, nobody knows. So just think. that we who have really not done anything much compared to that soul, we get so much love, respect, appreciation, blessings from the world. And that one soul who has sown the seed on which this tree is standing, that soul has got nothing. Immense, immense power, immense power. So those brothers and sisters, they value that contribution, they value that effort, they value that transformation that one soul has created, because when one soul does it, and so many were able to do after that, so then they give that one soul that respect, that importance, that love, not because they're treating him like God. Never ever. Never ever. We're all very, very clear in our mind that no, no comparison at all. So we're not comparing Brahma Baba to God, but just that he holds a very important place in our life
mm,
because of what he's done and because of whom we were able to do what we have done. If one soul, it's like you are one in your family. You are the first person who comes into Gyan in your family of 4 people or 6 people. But after you, then someone else comes into Gyan. They would have never got connected to Baba, they believe, till you had come into Gyan. So they'll always give you credit for it. When you say, Mummy, you came, mom, so then I'm in Gyan. So similarly, it's one soul because of whom millions of us today are here. So yes, that love and respect is only for that, no comparing with God. And if you're not able to feel that connect, doesn't matter. You don't have to force yourself to doing anything. You don't have to force yourself to do anything. You can just walk into Baba's room next time and just say to Baba, to Brahma Baba, I'm sorry, I feel no connect with you. If you feel like connecting with me, let it come from your side this time. I am sorry, it's not coming from my side. And surrender and leave it. Just leave it. You can be very honest and say, I'm sorry, I don't feel anything about you. It's like in a relationship, talking, telling a person, I feel nothing for you, but the other person now has to make it a point if the other person is in love with me. Come on, you do something so
mm.
that I fall in love with you. So put the ball in Brahma Baba's court and he'll take care.
And he does. It's
And
excellent.
he
Love
does.
and
And
he
he does. Yes, he does. That's why I said go and make it an open thing and he'll take care.
Because one other thing I was going to say is, a couple of others have written in, do not feel guilty about anything.
Not at all, not at all. We are all on a very different journey. We should never compare. Oh, how come they find Brahma Baba so important? Nothing at all. You could be a last so fast powerful soul, and the way your journey is going to go forward, everybody else is going to be surprised. Never ever compare your this journey, your meditation experiences, your love for Baba, your love for Shiv Baba. Never compare. I can see so many people who have tears in their eyes while they're meditating. I never have had a single drop, not a single drop, not even once. And I try so hard. I said, like, how come everybody is able to cry out of so much love? I never am able to cry. But now if I take that and I sit back and I say, oh, that means I don't love Baba. No, no, it's different. Everyone's is different. So never compare. Don't compare. This journey can never be compared. We're just checking our transformation because Baba has come here only for our transformation. We don't have to prove anything, neither to Baba, nor to ourselves, and definitely not to the world.
Mm. Absolutely excellent, because that's what it's all about. Okay, next question, anonymous again. I am a new BK living at home with my Lokik family, none of whom is even slightly spiritual, and am struggling with setting boundaries and way of life for myself. There is always a feeling of conflict in my heart, which is causing me a lot of pain. How do I transform this?
Conflict about what? It's the question which is not very clear. Yes, we all start with first person in the family, huh? So yours is not the only one, so don't worry about that. I think all of us who are in Gyan were the first one first in our family, or there was someone else who was the first one in the family. So it always happens. We have a lot of brothers sisters who were the first one in their city. There are a lot who were the first one in their country. So we are first one only in our family. And then when we start, and everybody else is not at all in Gyan, but not also spiritual, doesn't matter. That is also a very common thing to happen in most families. And then there are two things that we change. One is lifestyle, and second is sanskar. right? So one is a visible change that they will see are sleeping, waking up, eating, lifestyle. They are basic three, four things. The rest of the change is here. It's subtle. Here, nobody is going to have any problem because the change that we create in ourselves is going to be good for them. It's definitely going to be good for them. So family always benefits with our inner change. The only issue comes with our lifestyle changes, our eating habits or celibacy or one of these two, three things. So there, you just have to, don't feel conflict or don't feel that, oh, this is going to create issues in the family. Well, it create issues in almost all families in the first few days. So that's also nothing new. So don't worry. All that we take care is our behavior.
Mm.
Understand them, don't hold them wrong. Why are they saying this? What I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is right for me. They are not going to understand, so don't accept them that what they are saying is not wrong. So very nice loving vibrations will radiate from you to them. Then if they are eating what they choose to eat and you are eating what you choose to eat, but you don't need to go and sit separately to eat that. You're not going to say, I'm not going to sit on the same dining table just because you're eating non veg. No, we can sit there. These are those first few initial weeks or months of transition. That's all. That's all. But these few weeks are very important. Very important. If we start doing these very physical things like, I will not eat with you, I will not sit here, I will not, it's then when they create the panic button. It's then when they get scared that what has happened to this person. They're not even sitting with us. If you're watching something, they're not even sitting here with us. They've moved away. That's when they get anxious, and then that's when the conflicts start. So the first few weeks, be gentle, hold on to your maryada, but don't move away from people. Don't move away from people. That's that little balance that we have to do, that we don't cross that side, but we don't move away from their side.
Mm.
Then they understand, okay, it's just a diet change. All of us are making dietary changes, but they are not moving away from family. Easy. And don't worry at all. Take one step at a time. We have all gone through this. All of us have gone through it. And you can talk to people around you at your center who are living at homes and what did they do in those few days. You'll get a lot of inspiration from them. Most important, don't create pain here for that. We've not come here, we've come here to finish our pain, not create pain. Understand these are part of lifestyle changes.
That's lovely. Also, it can take more than a few days. I mean, it can take
Yes,
years.
it can take few months, it can take few years. It's a lot to do from what we are here. So, sometimes in the new, because we're new in Gyan, we focus more on the outside change.
Mm.
So, about what I eat and this, that's very important, but this change is more important. So,
Mm.
when the family or friends or colleagues can see your personality change, if they suddenly find a person who's not reacting and shouting in the way we were doing earlier and shifted to making acceptance normal, when they see all that change, then for them to accept this outward change becomes easier. But if they see that there's not much change here, they are behaving the same like they were behaving earlier, but now they want so much changes in the house. The kitchen should be like this, they should be like this. Then it's like, don't know where they're going, don't know what they're doing. So let the inner change overpower the outer change. Let them see that more. So then it's easier for them to accept the lifestyle changes.
Actually, I remember listening to one of your earlier programs when I was new, and that is exactly one of the things you said. And actually, it's helped me a lot in my journey because I'm still the only Brahmin in the family. So, yes, it does work.
It does.
Okay, anonymous question. Um, my question is, some souls disappear from my life for a long time, sorry, long time ago, giving me some painful experiences. When I took new birth by Baba, I learned and practiced forgiving and asked for forgiveness. It worked the wonder, and I was happy for years. At last 2 months, those souls appear suddenly on my mind and during meditation time. How to be free of that again?
They could be thinking about you.
Mm.
Big chances. See, vibrations flow in two directions, one from us to them, from them to us. So sometimes why people pop up on our minds is also because they are thinking about us. So if someone's thinking about me, I'm going to get that vibration. So when I think of them suddenly, I have to immediately connect to Baba and give those beautiful vibrations to them. So now they are still in that past birth where we were with them, but our birth has changed. So even when a soul changes their body, even then they receive vibrations from the past lives. Here, so we are still in the same body, in that same life. We have changed here. So those vibrations will reach us as soon as we think of them, consciously bring them and make them sit before Baba, radiate that good energy to them and say, karmic account over, this karmic account. So don't let it stay. That's all. And don't let it bother you because we think, okay, I had those thoughts.
Mm.
It's not necessary that I had those thoughts. It is possible that they radiated the vibrations. So maybe they are in pain right now. Maybe they are thinking of you. Maybe they are getting healed and so they thought of you. So many options.
Mm. Beautiful, lovely. Can you please brief on different stages of yoga, its practices, and how to be in that stage for a long time? So there is another question related to that, which is how does one start Mansa Seva?
See, stages of yoga. Again, let's not make yoga very technical. Otherwise, it starts sounding very heavy sometimes. Yoga is remembrance of Baba, right? Now, in the remembrance could be in different stages. Subtle, no, gross initial remembrance where we're not able to be in that seed stage, we can just sit and have a talk. Just have a talk. I don't know how to meditate. I don't know how to reach Param Dham. I don't know how to be in the soul conscious state. Just sit and talk to Baba. Just sit and talk. Even that is remembrance because you're not thinking of anyone else. You're only thinking and talking to Baba. Second stage is as we study the Murlis daily, then gently that soul conscious state starts becoming normal. So that's why during the day, during the traffic control, practice that soul conscious state. Just visualize point of light. Don't even do anything else. Just visualize I, point of light here. If I do it during traffic control, next morning at Amrit Vela will become easier. It's like if I want to bend like this and touch my toes tomorrow morning during my exercise, during my day, couple of times I just bend to see that increases my flexibility. So during the day, definitely practice visualizing I'm a point of light. 2 months back, Baba had said in a Sakar Murli, the whole Murli was that. Keep seeing point of light, keep seeing Baba point. And the whole Murli, after every one line, it came back to the same line. Keep seeing yourself point of light, keep seeing Baba as point, which means increase your visualization power of seeing yourself as Baba didn't say think point of light, see point of light. So see point of light and see Baba. Now this is something we do this is something we do in traffic control or any time during the day. Point of light, point of light, point of light, point of light. Little exercise for the soul. And then when we do it in the morning, it's going to get easier. Never be harsh with yourself during meditation. Never say, I was not able to see Param Dham. I was not a visualization power of every soul is different. It's different. Not everyone is able to visualize. We're able to think, but not everyone is able to visualize. So somebody would come and say, oh, I saw this in Param Dham. I saw this. And I'll say like, I saw nothing. I saw nothing. But that doesn't mean that my connection with Baba was any less. So again, no comparison. So just gently we start doing it from soul conscious stage, then reaching the subtle region. So there we have Brahma Baba, we in the subtle form, and we are also in a body of light. Have a nice talk. How many attachments are finished? I made a list today. I have this one little list to finish. Surrender, share, talk, then our mind is disconnected from the old world because we've gone on to the next level, and then gently take the soul point of light to Paramdham. Very gently. Don't check how much time we were able to stay there, but just consciously make it a practice to stay there. Even if it was few seconds, huge achievement.
Mm.
Huge achievement. Few seconds in Paramdham, untouched by the old world, huge achievement.
Mm.
Next day it will be 40, 50 seconds. Then next, gentle gentle, and it won't be the same every day. So today I could be in Paramdam, tomorrow I'll reach nowhere, and that's fine. That's fine. Never be harsh. As long as I'm not sitting and thinking about the outer world, then I need to little work on myself during the day.
Beautiful.
Mansa Seva. Mansa Seva is that my mind Vibrations, mansa is coming from the mind, man. My vibrations are radiating. They don't radiate only during meditation. They radiate 24 by 7. 24 by 7 are every thought is radiating. So actually mansa seva is 24 by 7. Mansa seva is 24. You can't stop your mind vibrations from radiating. Baba says take out time and do mansa seva, which means suppose I choose 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening, I take out that time for mansa seva. I consciously am serving, whether I'm serving people who are not well in India, or I'm serving the globe, or I'm serving nature. So I'm consciously radiating the vibrations to people or to souls or to the planet, what I've selected. Throughout the day, I don't consciously select that I'm sending, but throughout the day, my vibrations are radiating to the world. So, 1 hour if you sit, you are consciously doing Mansa Seva. Remaining 23 hours, you are anyways doing Mansa Seva. Even during our sleep, our vibrations radiate. During our sleep, our vibrations radiate. That's why we need to take care of the the mind. Whatever is here is radiating. So if there is only Gyan here, only Baba here, even in my Lokik work, if there's Gyan thinking, I'm thinking as per Gyan and Srimad, I'm radiating Gyan, I'm creating Satyug.
Mm.
So I could be in my Lokik job and create Satyug because I'm thinking Gyan here. I could be in the center doing Seva, but some old Sanskar, and I'm not creating Satyug. So creating Satyog is not about where I am here. It's about where I'm here because that's radiating. So that is Mansa Seva.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Another anonymous question. I am single. Can one become dependent on needing to feel loved?
Yes, we can. And so we have Baba to feel loved. Right now, we're living in times where we can get into relationships, any companionship, where we can give love, but very little chances where we can get constant love, that I can find somebody who can constantly radiate love to me. There's only one, and that's Baba, which means there's only God who can radiate constant love to us. The others are only our past life sanskars that we find the need for another human being to radiate that energy to me. But now we are living in times that we will not be able to find people who will be able to radiate that energy to us constantly. For some time, we can find that energy, but then after some time, we will get hurt from their expectations, from their attachments, lot of energies. So I need to remind myself I am at the end of Kali Yuga. Soul power is depleted. There is no human soul who can radiate constant love to me. I have to tell myself. It means like I'm looking for a product which is not available in the market. Simple. It doesn't exist. It's not there. In Kali Yuga, it's not there. So I won't be able to get it. Yeah, I can get it for a few days, few months. After that, I'll get a lot of other energies with that because a human soul right now has reached here, and to give constant unconditional love to you, they have to be here, so they have to be in the Satyogi stage. So that person is not available on the planet. I have to tell myself that nobody there, nobody there. So let's take it from where we are getting it, Baba. And when you
Baba,
connect and you meditate and you fill yourself, this need for human love will also, it will finish off immediately. Don't try and work on it. It's going to go on its own. It's a vacuum that gets healed on its own. And shift from wanting. So don't work on the wanting, but shift on the giving. So focus on the giving, the wanting will be taken care of.
mm,
So seva, radiating to people, unknown people. You're radiating love, care, and compassion. So that need will finish because you will shift from wanting to becoming a giver.
excellent. Thank you. So there are two questions which are sort of in the same area. So I will read them both out to you. I am feeling very disheartened at the moment. How do I increase my motivation? The next question is, I know I love Baba and knowledge, Gyan, etc., but my faith still wobbles.
Yeah,
How do I develop faith? What
good.
am I missing?
True. So one is I'm feeling disheartened. We need to check whether it is a specific reason to be disheartened or just not feeling good. So both are possible. One is there is a specific reason in my life. Second is there is no reason, everything is fine. We need to understand the vibrations around us are not the purest ones right now. And then this year they've even dipped. Even dipped. The collective energy of the planet has dipped in this 1 year. It's dipped. Fear and anxiety is in the air. It's in the air. I We receive emails now. People in India, because of all that happened, that in the last couple of months, people are writing that I have been thinking if I die, who will look after my children? You ask them why you have COVID. They say no. So why are you thinking that you're going to die? Because that's so much in the air. That's how much vibrations around us affect our way of thinking. So we need to protect ourselves from the vibrations in the air. And that's why that lifestyle, Amrit Vela, Murli, very important. Some of us may not be able to go to the center, but then be accurate in the Murli as if you are sitting in the center. See, when we were going to the center, we were getting that boost of energy every morning. At least for those of us who went every day, that boost in the morning of being in the center, that vibration. Now we are on our own. So this 1.5 year had to come to test our energies, that am I able to manage on my own, or even though I have that dependency. Going to the center, definitely have to go. But did my stage got affected because I was not able to go to the center? So that means I was still dependent, which is okay. That's never mind. I work on it, then next step. So there can be many reasons for that. Doesn't matter. Just get back to the maryadas, the lifestyle, and do it accurately, even if you don't feel like doing it. Push yourself into doing it. Even if you're not enjoying listening to the Murli, never mind. Do it just like a disciplinary action. I have to listen to the Murli like that. Even if you don't enjoying it, let it go in. It will be the nourishment for the soul. Most important, before you eat and drink, see, the fear and anxiety in the air gets absorbed by the food and the water. By the food and the water. So never eat and drink without connecting to Baba, without radiating that Baba's energy in the food and water. And while you are cooking or someone else is cooking for you, have Baba's Murli or Baba's songs, ideally Baba's Murli, not songs, Baba's Murli playing in the kitchen. Very important. While cooking, play Baba's Murli. And while eating also, if you could play the Murli, that Murli will mix with all your food and go into your system. So it's a way of giving yourself instant energy. It's very powerful. It really works. The second one is about not having faith. Well, it's not true that you're not having faith. So first, let's change the line. If you were not having faith, you would not even have been here. You wouldn't have been even here if you didn't have faith. So don't even say that line for yourself. What could happen is, maybe I feel that I don't have complete 100% faith. Sometimes I am like, is this really true? I mean, really God came in Brahma Baba? And you have that thought, never mind. It's perfectly fine. Let the thought come. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm going back to the Murli, it's fine. As long as I'm going back, it is, if you look at it from a logical mind. I mean, even today, if I have to start using my logical mind and say, like, really, God came inside a human being, my logical mind will never agree to it.
Mm.
It will never agree to it, because it's not something that we ever thought could happen. It's not something we had ever thought could happen, that God can come into a human being's body and then speak to me. So it's all very, so that logical mind once in a while will say, this really, is this really possible? Then I have to teach my logical mind how I studied that, how I transformed myself, how I'm experiencing Baba every day in my life. And so how everything that I wanted to create, I'm able to create from here. Then my logical mind says, yes, yes, you are right, this also worked, this also worked. But suddenly, a couple of months later, my logical mind will still say, really, you really think this is happening? Never mind, let it say it, doesn't matter. But don't say you don't have faith. This is one of these thoughts which comes up once in a while. Beautiful part is to be honest about it.
Mm.
It's beautiful to be honest about it. It doesn't matter if it comes. Just don't let it stay. Because when it comes, just tell your mind about all your experiences, and all that you have gained after being Baba's child. So once you understand that, it's like if I'm undergoing treatment and then someone tells me, "You sure this person is the right doctor?" And then I also create a doubt. Really? Am I sure this person is the right? Then I just have to tell myself, "Oh my, this got healed, this got healed. Ha, the person is the right doctor." Simple. So I have to look at all the changes and what I have got from Gyan and from Baba, and then I'm with the right doctor.
Lovely. And also, don't be hard on yourself because lots
Never
of
at all, never at all. It's all a part. And please always remember, so many of these vibrations are only in the air. They're in the air. Someone could be thinking about you, maybe a family or maybe a friend who must be thinking, "Oh, where is this soul going? How can they believe something like this, that God comes?" So if someone else is thinking like this about you, that thought will also come to you. You will catch that thought because they want you to catch that thought. They are thinking like that about you. So never mind. We will send another thought out there in the air so that it reaches them.
lovely. I like that because I've had to do that. Okay, now there seem to be 31 questions, but guys, you are writing theses. You've got to keep your questions succinct, brief, for. So I hope I'm going to say this right. This sister wants to know, there is this paper of the body, and seva also comes. I can never say no to it. But some Brahmin recently told me that it was not right and it is equivalent to a sin, as the true seva is from vibrations. But I have also seen that I feel exceptionally powerful whilst doing the seva. I need some clarity, please.
No, you need no clarity. You're absolutely clear. You are absolutely clear because what someone shared with you, they were right. They were right according to their perspective. According to them, we should not harm our body, which means if it's unwell and literally I'm dragging myself only because I'm not able to say a no. So it was that line which is important, that you are doing that seva only because you're not able to say a no. That's why they said to you that that's not the way to do seva. You do seva because you feel like doing it when you're not well. And you're not. So because you said, "I'm doing it because I'm not able to say a no." So they said, "But you should not be doing that." But your second line is, "But I feel very powerful after doing it." So if I feel very powerful, then I'm not doing it because I'm not able to say a no. I'm doing it because I feel powerful. And
Mm.
if I'm going to gain anything in terms of my strength, and that strength is going to be good for my body, then I should be asking for more seva, more seva. But if I am straining my body, if I'm straining myself only because I'm not able to say a no, and in my mind I'm like, "I don't feel like doing this, but I have to do this," then it's not seva, because then I'm not doing it with the right energy, with the right intent. So only we are able to check our intent. So what they said to you was also right, and what you're doing is also right. So complete clarity.
Excellent. What kind of attachment is fear and what creates it?
Fear
Mm.
depends on what the fear is about. So, like COVID, people are feared about what if this happens to me. So that's the fear. Or the fear is if I lose someone. So that's the fear. So, attachment, we will know only when we know what the fear is about. Someone will have fear about the future. So, the attachment would be the future should be this way. And then my fear is what if the future is not this way. So, always there will be an attachment to people, to my work, to my body health, to the future, something I want to be my way, but my mind says, "What if it is not that way?" So that's the fear. So that's the fear. So I give the answer to my mind, and the fear will start getting healed.
Mm. Excellent. Okay, thank you. How to draw a line between settling past karmas with an individual and being used, especially when the soul concerned is a mental health patient.
Uh, Being used is a
Mm.
very relative word, actually, because uh, it all depends to what I will call as being used. What is it about it that you will call yourself being used? So most important is, if someone is unwell and that person is family or a very close connection. Don't do what you're doing thinking in your mind, I'm settling a past karmic account. Not a very good energy. Not a very good energy. The other soul will also get it. Why don't you call that as seva? That is also seva, right? If someone is in family or working or people around me, it could be someone who's unwell. This is a mental health issue. Something could be a physical health issue. Someone else could just be a simple emotional health issue. They're all sanskars. We're all living and working with them, and we are there, but in our minds we're only doing seva. So we don't call it that I'm settling past karmic accounts. Otherwise, so everything in Kali Yuga we are settling past karmic accounts. Nothing is not settling past karmic account. But if we think like that, then it becomes a lower vibrational energy. And when life is like, then we feel like a victim. I'm not happy with my life. I'm settling past karmic accounts. I am here for seva, and everything that I'm doing, even if it means I'm taking care of someone who's unwell or someone is not behaving right, maybe that's possible in this case, that someone is not behaving right with you and you're having to handle all that. But that also is increasing my purusharth if I'm using the gyan, and that is also seva. So don't call anything as settling past karmic account. Not settling. If my state is fine, my past karmic account is automatically getting settled. But we don't live our life thinking that we're settling past karmic accounts. We live our life saying that we are here on Baba's Seva. See, new birth, new virtue, new task. So the virtue is I'm a server, I'm a giver, and the task is world change. Whether it is taking care of somebody or it's taking care of Baba's center, I'm still creating Satyug.
Excellent, excellent. I really like that. It's all about really how I think.
The consciousness.
Bilkul, bilkul. Okay. Um, how can we be convinced that there is a God, that we are not simply like animals or plants that go through one life?
How can we be convinced that there is God?
Yeah, that there is a God, that we are not simply like animals and plants to go through one's life. So I'm just thinking, have you
Yeah,
taken the course, sister,
that's what, yeah.
brother? I think, okay, before we're just going to move on because you really need to ask your teacher, first of all, and you need to take the course because this session is only for Brahmins, PKs, new and old, okay? Thank you. Right. Sister's sharing that, she's very inspired to write her chart too. Again, I think I've already asked you this question from somebody else, finding it hard to meditate at 4. So you've answered that. Okay, lovely question here from Sheila. She says, can you please explain how to be detached and loving when living in a family?
How to be detached. What is the meaning of detachment?
Mm,
When two children are born physically attached, joined children. When they're born physically attached, life is very uncomfortable. They have to sit together, sleep together, walk together, go to school together. They don't have a choice that one day one will go to school and the other will rest at home. No choices at all because they are attached. Very uncomfortable. Surgery, detached. Now one can sit, other can stand, one can go to school, the other can sleep. Life becomes very comfortable. So what happens when we get detached is we have our own choices of what to do when we are physically joined. Now attachment, emotional. When we are attached to people at home, to family, to friends, which means the state of my mind is attached to people. The state of my mind is dependent on people. So I get affected by their behaviors, by their words. I need them to be a certain way. If they are that way, I'm very happy. If they are not, so we are joined like this. Now, when we take Baba's Gyan and we meditate, gradually, we don't have to do it. We can't do this surgery. We don't have the power to be able to do it. Just gradually, that it will start happening, that they will behave a wrong way or not do something your way, and you will be calm. But earlier you were not calm. Earlier you would have like, how could they do this? And now like, okay, I understand. Different soul, different sanskar. No problem. It's fine. I accept them. You did not get affected. You did not get disturbed. You did not get hurt. And which means you were detached. Life became very comfortable. You did not radiate energy of pain to them just by going into pain. You were calm and your pure love energy is radiating to them. This is detachment. And when we start getting detached, we don't detach ourselves, we can't detach ourselves, it just happens very gently, very gradually. That's gyan actually. So we reach we the gyan is absolutely shifting from a stage of total attachment to reaching a stage of complete detachment where nothing affects me, where I am a giver. That's what was today's thing about. Where we are a giver, we don't get affected. So that's the journey of this Gyan. So we go through those little baby steps as we are moving on this journey. But every time you will see that when you are detached, relationships will be beautiful. Beautiful, because you are radiating Baba's love and energy, irrespective of whether people are doing things your way, not doing things your way. You're giving them advice, but you're not reacting. So relationships will go to another level altogether. So the first result that we get in our life when we start using Gyan is in the world of our relationships. That's the first place where we see the result. So, because who we are here only comes out in the field of relationships, right? So, if I'm alone and I'm peaceful, no big achievement. But if I'm with people and people are not my way and I'm peaceful, magical.
Mhm.
That's magical. So, that is detachment.
Beautiful.
And that's our journey.
Yeah, it's all about managing our expectations as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just in doubt that the knowledge of four yugas and 5,000 year cycle do not match with scientific artifacts and that conflicts. I was previously sad that it is, I thought that it was just Maya, but my mind is not able to accept
Not able to accept the four yogas.
the difference. Yeah, the difference.
Between the what science is saying and between,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. One thing we need to always remember that science is always evolving. You see, so science has the liberty to change what they say. And it's absolutely fine for them to change because science is about studying, realizing, changing, experimenting, and then revealing to the world. So science earlier believed that the earth was something else. Then science realized no, earth is round. So science is about evolving, and that's perfectly fine. And where are we getting the gyan from? We are getting it from God Himself, right? Now, even then, if it tells, even if my mind says, but, then don't think about it. Don't think about whether it's going to be four yogas or what's going to be next. Never mind. Let me just work on this lifetime. Doesn't matter. Let me not think about the next life. If I'm not yet convinced, I don't need to think. Even if I'm convinced, actually, we're not doing anything for the next life. We are doing everything for now. We are not doing all this because, oh, we will go in Satyug and I will become so and so. That's not the attraction at all. Everything that we are doing is for this lifetime. We are not doing anything so that we will be happy in the next birth or we will have all those things in. Nothing is being done for the next lifetime. So just focus on this life, use Baba's Gyan, use everything that he's saying, fill yourself with his love only for this lifetime. Only for this lifetime. So after that, if Satyug comes, beautiful. Doesn't come, doesn't matter. Nothing lost. It was my this lifetime which was beautiful. And if I create very good sanskars, then whatever may be my next life, whether it is in Satyug or whether it is in the same, either soul I'm carrying beautiful sanskars with me. How does it matter? Why should I entangle myself in thinking about the next life? Leave it. Drop it. Don't think about it at all. It's not important at all. Focus on this life. Make this life Satyug. Don't make next birth Satyug. Make this life Satyug. All those divine sanskars we can create in this lifetime. Only we won't have that body and we won't have that plane and the palace. We don't need that. We only need the Satyugi sanskars. So just focus. I am going to make my this life Satyug. I'm going to make my home, my family a Satyugi world. Let's do that. Then doesn't matter what science says. I'm creating my Satyug now.
Absolutely. And it's all about your own faith. And, absolutely. It's how I feel inside.
It's like we should just go on with this journey. Don't struggle with anything in Gyan. If you don't, it's like a child. Don't understand one chapter, leave it. There are a lot of other chapters to work on. And gradually, you know what will happen as we are moving forward, automatically we will start understanding that chapter automatically, because some chapters don't match with science, and some chapters don't match with logic. So we can just keep them aside. We say, I don't understand this chapter, and I go on with the other chapters. You won't have to work on this chapter. Suddenly one day you'll start believing it. Suddenly you will start believing it when soul power starts getting filled. But don't get entangled with it, get stuck in your journey, or deplete your power thinking too much about it. Just focus on this lifetime.
And now, absolutely beautiful. So again, we lots of questions about the drama and the identical way every cycle runs, etc. This is just saying, where is the room for change and progress if the result will always be the same? So if the effort is also really predestined, really, if you don't know, though you don't know that, how does that work?
Keep this point aside that the drama repeats itself. Keep it aside. Keep it aside. Do we know what I did today at 5:30? I mean, my 5:30. Do I know what I did last time at 5:30? I don't know. If I knew, then there is no choice in drama. I already know what I did 5,000 years back at 5:30, and so I have to live as per that instruction. Then there's no free will, no choice. Do I know what I did 5,000 years back 10 minutes later? I don't know. So I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose what I'm going to do 10 minutes after this. Do I know 5,000 years back, did I do Amrit Vela tomorrow morning? I don't know. We know nothing of the past cycle. Why do we think so much about it? We know nothing. We have complete power on our part in this cycle right now. So why do we say that, oh, there's no choice, there's no use? It's complete choice, complete willpower, complete free will, complete. Not a second of your life is being controlled by anybody else. You are choosing. From a simple thing like what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, how you're going to speak, everything is our choice. So why do we say that we have no choice? Every moment we are choosing what we are doing. So just use that choice, use that free will, that willpower, and create a beautiful path. And at the end of Sangam Yuga, we can say, okay, so maybe I created the same one 5,000 years back, so that's what happened this time. But next 5,000, I'm again going to forget it and I will again do it out of free will.
Hmm, beautiful. Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
again going to forget it.
My dear brothers and sisters, we've got 50 new messages. The point is, you seem to be asking a lot of questions on fact, on the knowledge. And I would really suggest that we do not have time for that. You've really got to go to your teacher, speak to other Brahmins, and get that. Sister Shivani's time is very precious, and I'm just going to now pick the few that I think need to be answered, could be helped. Okay, so please, I'm sorry about that. Very important point. Some people are saying we have recommended some non-BKs to join this. I'm sorry, but it was very clear that this is strictly for BKs, and this is why they're going to get lost. Um, so this is the reason why. Also, I'm going to skip over lots of questions. Um, right, how do I create the stability in the self at all times?
Stability is the soul power increasing. Yeah, so what is stability? Earlier I would get disturbed. Stability means soul power increasing. So first is all the steps that Baba has given us, they all increase our stability. Our Amrit Vela, daily Murli class, amazing, magical power it gives to the soul. Traffic control, evening meditation, night meditation before we go to sleep, food habits, of course, purity. Every step of this Maryada increases soul power. And then the next thing is whatever I am taking from Baba's Gyan, I consciously put it into practice during the day. First, in my way of behaving with people, even if I'm not able to change my thoughts, my way of behaving. Then, gently, my way of thinking. So, every tiny step that I'm taking on this journey, it's going to increase stability, which means it increases soul power.
Excellent. Right, I'm really going to have to skip through these. How to be stable and unshakable, but practical tips for practicing being bodiless. Is it possible to completely transcend all bodily pain by being in this stage?
Bodiless actually means being egoless. Bodiless doesn't mean that we forget this body. How can we forget this body? We're living in the body. We can see it, we can feel it always. But when we become bodiless means that the soul doesn't get affected by the pain of the body, which means we will feel the pain, but we will not suffer. You see, a simple example. Sometimes you could have met people or you could have seen it around you, someone who just has a little fever, so this is normal and they just have a little above that, but they suffer a lot because of that temperature. Oh, I'm not well, I'm not well, then I'm not well. Even a sore throat and cold, they will feel that they are not well, not well. So what is happening? The body is just a little unwell, but the soul is suffering. The soul is suffering. And same, you could meet someone who's probably in the chronic stage of cancer. Doctor said, sorry, not much time to live, no treatment. But they are so happy. They are doing beautiful things in their life. They're connecting with people. They're serving the world. And if you look at them, you can never think this person is really going through an ailment through which they can't even treat that. So the body is unwell, soul is not suffering. Soul is not suffering. So the body is not affecting the soul. Now you can call that bodiless. They're not affected by what's happening in the body. So this is what Baba teaches us. It's not you won't feel the pain. You will feel the pain, but you will not suffer because of that. So it's not that if this body is hurting, if I cut myself here, I won't feel the pain. But I won't scream and shriek and feel like a victim. Ho, ho. All that will not happen. So that is bodiless. But that is bodiless when it comes to the physical body. But otherwise, the actual meaning of bodiless is egoless, which means name, fame, position, relationships, everything above that. Above that. So that is bodiless. Everything that you have acquired after coming into the body, detached from that.
Thank you. Um, this brother's saying, I have ADHD and make mistakes in seva. Does that mean I lack purity? Seniors,
No, 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 no. Who said like that? Lack purity. No. Why? You should never say like that for yourself. Baba would never say like that for you. You know, whenever we don't have answers to a question, either just visualize going to meet Avyak Babdada on stage. Now go to Baba on stage and say, Baba, I have ADHD, so do I lack purity? And Baba, how is he going to look at you at that time? And that one look that Baba will give you, and you will feel you're the purest soul on this planet. He'll make you feel like that. So it's not true. It's not true. We can work on that little issue which we have. That issue is nothing to do with soul power. It doesn't have to do anything with soul purity. It has something to do with the balance. We learn how to it. We talk to our therapist. We say, you teach me what I'm supposed to do. Now I have the therapy plus I have Baba's Gyan. I will use both of them and create magic in my life. And don't create a thought, I repeatedly make mistakes in my seva. Every time you say this, you'll tend to do it more again the next time. Every time. First of all, stop saying that I'm doing seva. Say, Baba uses me to get it done. Baba is using me to get it done. Who am I to do any seva? Baba is using me. Why did Baba choose me? Baba has so many children. Why did he choose me for that seva? So am I going to doubt his selection? No. He chose me. He is going to get it done. Before you begin, you surrender. Baba, look, last time I made too many mistakes, so you better take over. You get your work done. Surrender. If you think you're doing it, then you could doubt your capacity. No, I'm not doing. Baba has said, I get it done. I'm only an instrument. So I will just be there, conscious that I'm only an instrument. He's getting work done. And when someone around you will praise you for it, appreciate for you, don't accept the appreciation. Just say, Baba, oh, you did it so beautifully today. Thank you so much. And then the next time they say, how could you do this? You made a mistake. Baba, what happened? You made a mistake today? So both cases, we are fine. Both cases, we are fine. As long as consciously we're not doing anything wrong. Intentionally, we are not doing anything wrong. Rest, everything is fine. And definitely, it has nothing to do with purity of the soul.
um, I think that's beautifully explained. Sorry, there are questions coming through, but like I said, I'm so sorry. We cannot take all your questions. I'm going to end with this last question, though Sister Shivani has already covered it. How can I distinguish between legitimate needs of the body and soul and dependencies? I'm running the risk of not giving myself something because of fear that it could be a dependency. You've already said a lot.
Uh, yeah, it's just that it depends on what they're talking about. See, it's without knowing what they are talking about. So that's just guesswork here now. So you are fearing, and so you are not taking something or not using something, fearing that it will become a dependency. Why should we fear that it will become a dependency? Because you have complete clarity that I am doing this. Okay, so she's written it. Example, eating on the right time. Oh, beautiful. So we are not going to eat on the right time thinking that it will become a dependency. No, not true. We will eat on the right time, but we will not be rigid about it. So let's say, okay, I'll take my example. I make it a point to eat it on the right time. Last 1.5 years, I've eaten at the same time every single day because I'm in one place. But when I'm traveling or when I will travel after this, I will never create a big hoo-ha about that at the center and say, I have to eat at this time. So we're very clear, and all of us do that, and I'm sure you do that, sister. So we will definitely stick to the right time. But the day we are not able to eat at the right time, the mind will not get panicked and say, today I didn't eat at the right time, so that's not healthy for me. If the mind says that, we just have to say, it's my body adapts to the seva, and I'm getting Baba's power while I'm working or I'm doing seva, and I'm perfectly fine. But that doesn't mean for those one off times when we will not eat at the right time, we should not eat at the right time always. Brahmin life is about self discipline. It's about. Baba says self discipline makes you a self ruler. Self ruler. So it's good to follow all the healthy lifestyle habits. Once in a while, if we're not able to do it, then we just say it's okay. That doesn't matter at all. At all. So if that time your mind troubles you, you heal the mind with those right answers that I'm here for seva. I'm not here to eat right now. And we will eat later, and sometimes we don't even eat. And that's fine.
Hmm.